Everyone knows what it feels like to have a crush on someone. All you want to do is spend time with them and get to know them better, which you usually do when you start dating them. There are different stages when you're dating to help you get to know that person better. So think of being in a romantic relationship like when you're biting into an apple. So when you bite into the apple and you start eating the apple, you only get the outer part of the apple that you start tasting, which is similar when you start dating someone. All you see is how they act around you, and they're usually acting that specific way to attract you. So you're only seeing their outer layer. And then as you continue to eat the apple, you get to the core of the apple. So as you continue to date the person, you get to the core of the person and you can see them for who they truly are. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be talking to you about the different stages within a relationship and how they help you get to know that person better. So first I'm going to talk about some traditional practices of dating, and then I'll introduce to you the 3 stages of the relationship, which are the honeymoon stage, the make or break stage, otherwise known as the power struggle stage, and then finally the old married couple stage. But before I get into those stages, let's talk about the traditional practices. So traditionally, family would choose your counterparts. They would choose them based on the economic profit or benefit they would be able to provide for you during the relationship. Where in modern practices, you can pick whoever you want to date. It depends on what appeals to you, which is why these stages are more relevant and more evident in relationships now than ever, because it's all about how you get to know that person. So the first stage is the honeymoon stage. At this stage, you are happy because you are finally with that person that you have the crush on, and you're saying sweet things and doing nice things just to impress that person. And it's at this phase in the relationship where you're emphasizing your common interests. So you might hear someone say like, "Oh my gosh, you like rock music too? We're soulmates. We must be soulmates." I mean, okay, it might not sound exactly like that, but you get the point. It's at this part of the stage where you're learning about the other person's interests and learning what you guys have in common, and then you're getting a lot of good behavior, and they're doing a lot of nice things for you, but it's only because they want you to like them back and be attracted to them. So you're only getting that outer layer. Once you hit the second stage, you start to get to know the person for who they really are. So when you are at the make or break stage, you often go through a struggle or a challenge that really tests that person's true qualities and characteristics. So, for instance, my friend was in a relationship, and one of the partners had to move out of the city. So it tested them to see whether or not they were truly committed to the relationship or were going to continue it even after their partner had moved, or they were just going to break up. And fortunately for them, they, their true colors were shown, and they made it to the next relationship. To the next stage. They continued their relationship. So in the last stage is the old married couple stage. Now at this point, you know about your partner like the back of your hand. You're extremely comfortable with them to be yourself. They're extremely comfortable with you for them to be themselves around you, and you accept each other for who you truly are. It reminds me of my parents. Now, my parents aren't old, don't get me wrong. But my mom is extremely comfortable with my dad, so much so that one day in looking in the mirror, she's looking at her hair, and she said, like, "Oh, honey, remind me to get hair coloring when we go out, because I'm getting gray roots are coming in. I need to color my hair." And my dad, trying to be slick and put one of the lines in, said, "Oh, honey, you don't need to get hair coloring. I think gray hair makes you look sophisticated." And I thought it was hilarious that my dad was trying to run game with my mom. But, it must have worked. She cracked a smile. But clearly, she has a level of comfort where she's not trying to impress my dad and just do things just to impress him. She's just being real and saying, what she really is, and expressing herself that way. So they're at that comfort level where they trust each other and they can just be themselves. So in conclusion, there's the 3 stages that you go through when you're dating someone, that will help you get to know that person better. And an easy way to remember them is just think of flowers and chocolates. In the first stage, the honeymoon stage, you're buying flowers and chocolates for that special someone just to impress them. $50. The second stage, the make or break stage, you're buying flowers and chocolates because you're trying to make up for something big time, $100. And then the final stage, you're not buying flowers and chocolates because they've gotten flowers and chocolates for every other occasion. They're sick and tired of flowers and chocolates. That is priceless. Thanks for listening to my speech.